back to John, Josh, Bob, Chuck, G. Hey, how many people are on this show?
It's weird.
This is the Sports Source.
All right, welcome back into the weirdest show in Knoxville. This segment brought to you by Southeast Termite and Pest Control. Spring is just around the corner, and that means some old friends are due to stop by your home, mosquitoes and termites. Call Southeast Termite and Pest Control if you'd like to put out the proper welcome mat for those guys. They have incredibly effective, affordable treatment options for both mosquitoes and termites. They've been doing it for years. They do it at my home. They are absolutely the best pest control company in East Tennessee, locally owned since 1971 when the family started it. Southeast Termite and Pest Control. Check out their website this week. Give them a call this week about their mosquito and termite treatments. Okay, let's start our breakdown of the offense by looking at the skill position players at the top of the chart. And it's hard to get everything right. We print these out, and then you don't know where the lights are coming in. You're going to have a little bit of a glare. But anyway, you got the quarterbacks up at the top, then the running backs, tight ends, and then 3 wide receivers I have listed there. Let's start by just saying the quarterback position. I have Garantano as the starter. I think most people would. I have misspelled his name Jarrett. There's 2 T's in Jarrett. I knew that, but I screwed it up. So my apologies to Garantano. At least I'm pronouncing your last name correctly, though. After that, I had Harrison Bailey, Brian Maurer split for the second job. J.T. Shrout, Jimmy Holiday, the other incoming freshman, split for the third string, and I don't even have Kasim Hill up there. So you've got a lot of snaps to spread out this spring if you actually play that many guys or try that many guys. Here's my question, though. If we all agree, and do we, that Garantano is probably your guy?
To start the season, yes.
Yeah, to start the season. You would agree, Jimmy?
Yes.
Okay. Here's my question then, and this is I know what the fans would want. But is Tennessee better off with Harrison Bailey winning the number 2 job or Brian Maurer winning the number 2 job so you can redshirt Harrison Bailey?
I would say Bailey because I don't think Prudhomme really do a lot of playing games with the redshirt stuff. You can kind of wait for that stuff, but if Bailey wins that backup job, that means that his first year he's come in and he's won it because he's proven he's better than Maurer and Shrout. And ideally, you would like that to be the case when you have a guy that has all this hype and expectations on him to come in and make those things go. And again, if Garantano is injured, which obviously he has been for much of the last 2 seasons, or if he struggles and Bailey comes in and Maurer got his shot, didn't play that well, and handed that job back. But if that happens in the middle of the season and Bailey comes in and it performs and does what they need him to do, even in a slimmed down role, maybe he doesn't get that job back.
All right, Jimmy?
I think it's Bailey because he's your quarterback, I think, of the future. And so for him to get as many snaps as you can, I would want him to be the guy that wins the job as a backup. But at the risk of cavaliersing the question, I think the best option is if Bailey wins the job. Because if he does, then he's better than Garantano, and he's going to be your guy for the next few years, right? So if he's better than Garantano.
You mean win the job outright, the starting job, yeah.
Right, outright. Not to win the job as a backup, but to beat out Garantano. Because if he's better than Garantano, look, let's face it, Tennessee cannot win at a high level unless they get better and more consistent quarterback play, in my opinion. So if Bailey can come in and give you more consistency and play at a pretty high level, he's going to be your guy for the next 2 years beyond this. Then I think Tennessee can start talking about being a contender in the East Division.
Yeah, you're kind of living the dream if that happens, if you're Tennessee and he comes in.
I love living the dream.
Trevor
Lawrence. I'm living it right
now
on this show. You don't see it,
but if he walks in and he's the next Trevor Lawrence, that's a good thing.
Yeah, that would be a good thing. You're right. That would be a good thing. Let's go to the running back list over there. Chuck, who's your starter? I mean, a lot of people looked at Eric Gray last year and thought, well, he's got the most upside, but he didn't get the most carries till the end of the year. I wonder how much of that was pass protection related. I've got Chandler and Gray split there because I don't know who gets the starting gig. Who do you give it to?
I give the edge to Eric Gray, and a lot of that I'm still going off just that highlight tape from the Vanderbilt game. And, of course, a couple of those plays were very well blocked. But, I mean, this is your home run threat. Now, I still want to see Ty Chandler get some more playing time. You need them both, but I think Eric Gray's the guy there.
Okay. Does everybody agree with that? Do you start with Eric Gray?
I would.
Would you have last year? Before the way he exploded at the end of the year, could you not have used him more earlier in the season? Maybe not week 1, but he went several weeks there where he was just kind of a forgotten guy, 2-3 carries, and then boom. It's like, wow, where's this guy been?
I think his inability in pass protection is why he was not playing more. He actually started out okay, then he got disappeared for a while. But I think when you watched him trying to protect and pass, That was not very good.
Yeah, Chandler has that breakaway speed, but Gray, when he gets to the second level, gets one-on-one with the linebacker, good luck.
Yeah,
I mean,
Gray
he
can-
can really
Saw it in
play.
the bowl game as well.
Yeah.
Gray's more likely
Yeah.
to change what a defensive coach is telling his guys to pay attention to.
All right, Josh and Will, let's take a look at the big board over there. Tight end, I've got Austin Pope. I think that's the lockiest lock on the offense. But there's 18 guys who can wind up behind him. We don't know. And there's other guys. I just ran out of room. There are other people that could fit in there. But here's the thing. Wide receiver, I've got Palmer, Keaton, and Johnson in the slot. But Palmer, Keaton, Johnson, you talk about wide open. All of the pressure right now is on Garantano. Well, he's got to get better, and he's in the same system. Yeah, but all of his receivers are changing. So it's kind of like yes and no in terms of, oh, it's all going to be the same for him this year for the first time. Not when you take away all the weapons. Your thoughts on the receiver position? And first of all, do you agree with, is that who you would think at this point? Would you see Palmer, Keaton, and Johnson as your front runners, or?
Yeah, I think that's right. And then Velus Jones, who you have there along with Brandon Johnson, he's a guy where you're hoping, I think, to get a couple of explosive plays. Big-time speed guy there. But Palmer, can he take a big step forward? I think Ramel Keaton is really important. He's one of those, again, high upside guys, a part of the 2019 class, high school All-American. When Juwan Jennings was suspended for the first half of the bowl game, Keaton went in there and made a couple of plays. Can he do more of that? They have to have it because the guys that Garantano most relied on are gone.
And then you wonder, how do they use Ty Chandler in the passing game? Is this a place where you're going to use two backs more often because you really don't know who's going to win out at that wide receiver? You don't have a third one you really like. That's when you're going to look at more of a two-back situation. And then you also have to look at, you've heard a lot about the freshman quarterback, other freshman quarterback, and Holiday, what an athlete he is.
Right.
And you
Where does
start
he-
wondering, is that the guy they go, hey, first couple practices, and then third practice, he's playing wide receiver. So I think there's some options there. But I think if you don't know who you have, if you don't have a third wide receiver and you really don't have a playmaker at tight end, you're going to see a lot more two-back. And that's where you're going to get more of your versatile, who can we throw it to as well. Because Chandler has shown he can come out of the backfield and catch the ball and do some things. So I don't see any reason that be a bad thing. I think they've got to go there if they don't know what it is.
Another big question mark is Georgia transfer D'Angelo Gibbs, who sat out last year. I've got him listed as wide receiver. I told you a lot of different depth charts have him all over the board. There are people that still have him on the defensive side of the ball. He can wind up just about anywhere. So D'Angelo Gibbs is going to be an interesting one to watch. 20 seconds, Chuck Cavaleris. If you're Jeremy Pruitt, you could make anyone in your skill position players all SEC, not named Jarrett Garantano. I'm not going to make this easy. Who do you make it? Who's most important outside Garantano?
Well, it's a tough question, John. I mean, you want to look at somebody here at the wide receiver, but I'm going to stick with Eric Gray. I think he's the guy that can make the most difference for this football team. And if he does win that type of accolade, you're going to have a pretty good offense.
There you go. I agree with that. Everybody agree with that?
Yes.
Okay, very good. When we come back, we're going to take a look at the offensive line, and wow, it's funny. You could pencil in. I think we're all going to be pretty close in the starting five, but in terms of where guys line up behind them, there's a lot of shuffling and shifting. We'll discuss. Come on back.